Hi there, I'm Jamie Wake and you've chosen to start your day the gay way by watching Outcast TV, the show that reports your news, lets me in my views and lets us discuss our issues. Without further ado, these are just some of the LGBT news stories that have recently come out of the closet. A 26-year-old man from Wales has told tabloid papers that a stroke has made him gay. Chris Birch, who was engaged to a woman at the time, had an accident whilst performing a backflip when showing off to his friends. Breaking his neck, which resulted in a stroke, Chris was taken to a local hospital, where his fiancée and family waited frantically for Chris to recover. When he did wake, he announced that he was gay and has swapped his previous job as a banker to become a hairdresser. He now lives above that very salon with his boyfriend. Chris said that before the accident he did not know any gay people and hung round with his rugby friends having fun and of course drinking beer. He was also on a break from his fiancée at the time of the accident. Chris says that he immediately started to hate sport, bleached his hair, worked out and took pride in his appearance. There's a lot more clichés he could have added, but I'm sure that Chris didn't want to overdo things. I didn't know how to comment on this story. It seems far too easy to say what pops into your head about Chris's tale. But I'm sensitively aware that in reality, this is a coming out story that may have been used to get a little press exposure. Do I believe that the stroke has made Chris gay? Do I eck? A stroke's what a gay man gets if he's lucky. I think it's way too easy to blame the stroke. We're born gay, nothing makes us gay. But I guess coming out is difficult to do, and parents and finding someone else or something to blame seems the only option. And then it suddenly all becomes okay. What I don't get though is a one thing to blame a stroke for your new queenly approach to your life, but why run to the daily fail? I don't believe it was for any misguided attempt for achieving LGBT equality. I wonder how the salon's doing now, Chris. A man accused of murdering Uganda rights activist David Kato has been sentenced to 30 years in prison. Enoch Nsugba beat David to death with a hammer at his home. The murder provoked worldwide condemnation and drew attention to gay rights issues in Uganda. Police insist that the person was not a thief, or sorry, was a thief and known to Kato, and the murderer was not related to the victim's gay rights campaign. Homosexuality is taboo in many African nations, is illegal in 37 countries on the continent, including Uganda, and activists say few Africans are openly gay, fearing imprisonment, violence and loss of jobs. Prior to his death, David was outed in newspapers which urged to kill the gays. Uganda recently had the eyes of the world on them when the country's government was debating to bring in a Kill the Gays bill. This was shelved, but of course it's continually a threat, and last month UK Prime Minister David Cameron told countries, including Uganda, that aid would be reduced if they did not legalise homosexuality. Uganda is probably one of the world's worst places to be gay, and I really can't imagine how tough it must be to live there as a gay man. But what strikes me though is how evil the Ugandan people must view homosexuality when a murderer gets 30 years, although the victim, a gay man, could have been killed legally for being gay if the bill had actually been passed. That to me is the atrocity. Another member of the LGBT community has been found burned to death along a Detroit highway in the USA, making this at least the 7th reported person to have been set on fire in the last few weeks. It seems to be a growing trend, and the charred remains of 19-year-old transgender victim Shelley Treasure Hilliard were found along the I-94. We have little information on this news story, but we'll keep you updated as we get further details. But a simple Google search has demonstrated that this is becoming a problem common throughout the world. In Jamaica, even the Jamaica Labour Party played Chi Chi Man, a song about setting fire to gay men at its rallies during the elections. I even found an extremely distressing and graphic video on YouTube of an African community setting fire to someone for being gay. We're told that homosexuality in Africa is un-African and un-Christian, but tell me, what is African and Christian about setting someone on fire for being different? This trend has to stop. A church in Liverpool is being criticised for organising sessions that claim that they can cure homosexuality and turn you straight. Sounds good to me, but the Frontline Church, which has also received funding from the Home Office, has produced a fact sheet giving tips to Christians on how to spot someone struggling with homosexual tendencies, such as women dressing in masculine way and men acting effeminately. The church has denied homophobia, but LGBT campaigners agree that the church is living in the dark ages. Once again, we have a perfect example of the extreme religious persecuting the LGBT community. And whilst the church is claiming success in conversion, how can we show its victims simply haven't had a stroke too? This week sees the return of the annual Anti-Bullying Week, and this year's theme is Stop and Think, Words Can Hurt. Bullying implies the lives of many teenagers here in the UK and of course worldwide, and sadly we've had a number of widely reported suicides amongst LGBT teenagers. Gay rights charity Stonewall continues its campaign to tackle homophobic bullying and language and needs your help to raise awareness. In a recent survey commissioned by Stonewall, it was found that 9 out of 10 secondary school teachers say that young people, regardless of their sexuality, are currently experiencing homophobic bullying in their schools, which are more than under-equipped to deal with the problem. Visit the Stonewall website at stonewall.org.uk to see how you can support its vitally important work. My final thought of the day is simple. Whilst in the Western world we've learned that acceptance has been slow progress, in many countries hatred is rife, and we need to be doing what we can to help show those in continents like Africa that homophobia has no place in our world. There is no excuse for violence, and it's no longer acceptable to hide prejudice behind cultural or religious beliefs. I find it difficult to believe that countries can allow the murder of members of our gay community and then protest when we condemn it. That doesn't mean we should become complacent here in the UK, for as we've seen recently, hatred still exists in the Western world. And with this week's Anti-Bullying Week upon us, we need to do everything in our power to educate the next generation to continue this work when we've gone. So I appeal to every member of the LGBT community that even though you may not personally have experienced homophobia, may not want to get married, or may not even want to give blood, that we, as gay men and women, have a duty to help those growing up now so that it will get better for them. You know, I know it's easy to think that because it doesn't affect you, that there's nothing or no need to get involved. But members of your LGBT community need your help. So please do what you can, when you can. Sorry for the few hiccups in that broadcast, but that's it for this week's show. But please keep in touch and let us know what you think about these stories and others by email using info@outcast-tv.co.uk. Don't forget to leave your comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of the links are coming up shortly. Thanks for watching, and whatever your plans, keep safe, keep warm, and keep being fabulous. I'm Jamie Wake, this was Outcast TV, and you are very kind for watching. Take care, and until next time, see ya.